Hey YouTube. Okay, so this video is going to be a comparison between a canister stove, like the MSR Pocket Rocket. Here, let me turn this around so you can see the logo. There we go. MSR Pocket Rocket. And Mini Bowl Designs, or Tenny's BIOS 4. This is a BIOS 4 that he made for me. He really hooked me up. I sent him this special edition Bud Light St. Patrick's Day with the clovers on it, and he made it for me, and he really hooked me up on it. And you know, I know Tenny gets a lot of flack from some people. Like for instance, I commented on one of Tenny's videos, and some guy just randomly sent me this email. Basically just completely trashing Tenny, saying how I should feel the same way. It was out of nowhere, and I sent the guy an email back saying, look, you know, you can feel however you want about Tenny. He's treated me well, you know, and whatever. It was a bunch of BS. Maybe, you know, if people want me to, I'll read the emails or post them in the comments or something like that. It was pretty ridiculous though. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Tenny is a good guy. He makes really good stoves, and you know, I really like him. You know, he treats me well, and he's turned me into a lifelong customer. So essentially, what I'm going to do here is I really didn't find any videos on YouTube where comparing the two types of stoves: a canister stove that burns isopropane and a alcohol stove that burns denatured alcohol, or, you know, heat in the yellow bottle, which a lot of guys really like to use. I think that's Tenny's favorite. So what I did is I took 2 cups of water and I put it in my Titan kettles. Yeah, I have 2 of them. It's kind of ridiculous. My wife just walked in. That's probably the noise you just heard. So I boiled 2 cups of water in each of them on each stove. And here's kind of what I came up with. We'll start with the Pocket Rocket. So the Pocket Rocket weighs 3 ounces without the case. That's the little red case in the back. I think with the case it weighs 4.3 ounces. It says its burn time on an 8-ounce fuel bottle. That would be the larger bottle than this. This is the small bottle. This is a 4-ounce bottle. It would be the 8-ounce bottle. It says it'll burn on full throttle for about 60 minutes. The boil time per 1 liter of water with the Pocket Rocket is 3.5 minutes. Now, I found out that it'll boil 2 cups of water in 2.5 minutes. Now, I'm saying 2 cups of water because that's really what will fit in the kettle, and kind of the standard for alcohol stoves. People, you know, always compare alcohol stoves based on 2 cups of water versus a liter or 2 liters of water, which is kind of what canister stoves are based on. So it boiled 2 cups of water in 2.5 minutes. A big can will boil, this is per MSR's website, the 8-ounce can of fuel will boil 16 liters of water. It says it uses 1 ounce of fuel per 2 liters of water, which is 64 fluid ounces of water. And it's made in Korea. The dimensions are 4 by 2 by 2. So then we have the Mini Bowl Designs. Sorry if this is kind of boring. I really wanted to do a video comparing the two because I really hadn't seen it. And you know, you always hear people saying, you know, ultralighters are saying that alcohol stoves are kind of the end-all be-all, and you know, most stores don't carry alcohol stoves. You might see some like small titanium ones made from like Vargo and some of like the little bit bigger companies that aren't, you know, huge name brand companies, but they're not quite cottage industry type companies, but they're not mom and pop shops. They're, you know, just kind of that in between. What was I saying? Oh, so I wanted to compare the two and really look at them and see, how much fuel is used per 2 cups of water, and really try to figure out which would be the ideal stove to carry versus fuel and weight. Yes, alcohol stoves are lighter in the beginning, but in order to boil the same amount of water over time, you're going to need to take more fuel or refill your fuel bottles like that. That's a 4-ounce fuel bottle, and that's an 8-ounce fuel bottle more often versus having to exchange canisters more often. And I know some people won't agree with this because fuel is a consumable. It shouldn't be counted towards your pack weight or your base pack weight. But I always like to count consumables just because it kind of gives you a better idea of how much. Well, when I say consumables, I mean stuff like fuel and water, because you're going to carry the same amount on a regular basis. So it's going to affect you more versus, like, say, food, where you're going to be carrying different meals, along the trail, and those weights are going to vary differently on those meals. So anyways, the mini bull design. I'll annotate how much the BIOS 4 weighs. I'll put it somewhere like right here. I don't have it with me right now because I don't have a scale. Now, the burn time with 1 ounce of fuel, I put 1 ounce of fuel in this to burn the 2 cups. The total burn time was 6 minutes and 45 seconds per 1 ounce of heat in the yellow bottle. The boil time for 2 cups of water was 5 minutes and 50 seconds, and that's per 2 cups of water. Now, based on those numbers, out of a big fuel bottle that's like an 8-ounce fuel bottle like that, you can get 4 liters of water to boil. And out of a small bottle, the 4-ounce bottle like that one, you can get 2 liters of water to boil. And then per 1 ounce of fuel, you get 2 cups or 16 fluid ounces of water to boil per 1 ounce. Just because you're using a hair less than an ounce because it boiled for a minute longer, but you can't really calculate how much fuel is left unless you blew it out right then and there, and then we're somehow able to salvage what fuel was left, and I really didn't feel like doing that. So based on these numbers, what do we think is the best? Kind of where I'm standing right now, if I'm going on a long trip, I'm going to be doing different types of eating and that kind of thing, like different types of food. I kind of want to say that the Pocket Rocket is the better stove because you can simmer with the Pocket Rocket, which will increase your fuel consumption. Decrease your fuel consumption. You'll have more fuel over a longer period of time. Now, if you're looking just for go the absolute lightest possible, carry the least amount of fuel per, like a couple of nights, yeah, I would say that the alcohol stove is king. Now, would I do a complete through hike on an alcohol stove? That's kind of a hard decision. That what I would probably do. Now, I know they're making a new Pocket Rocket that's going to weigh like 1.5 ounces or something. And I know the Snow Peak Light Max is a titanium stove, canister stove, and it weighs 1 ounce, they say. So ideally, I think that would be the best bet, to go with like a Snow Peak Light Max. But if you're looking for the smallest amount of weight over, just bare minimum, like I want to take the lightest thing possible. Yeah, there are alcohol stoves out there that weigh grams, like 6-7 grams. And you can cook out of beer can pots, which obviously weigh less than the MSR Titan kettle. I don't have the weight written down on the Titan kettle, but I think it weighs around like 5 ounces around. And beer can pots, they weigh like 1.5 ounces, and they'll hold 2 cups of water. they'll hold 16 ounces of water. You can even cut them to where they'll hold like 18 ounces. But I'm hitting right at 10 minutes. Leave comments, subscribe. Let's keep this discussion going. Maybe I'll do a part 2. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it for watching. Maybe look out for part 2.